Hello, everyone. Another beautiful day. I'm just out here doing my daily thing, trying to connect with nature, get the communication from the universe by connecting, and learn more about myself. And yeah, it's a really beautiful day. Another really clear, sunny day, partly cloudy. I love it. I love it. I love it. Take a look. I'll pan the camera a little bit so you can check it out. It's really nice, right? All right. So today, in this video, I plan to start like a chain of videos. I'm gonna make a few more videos of this nature, and the chain or the focus of this chain of videos will be about knowing the self, knowing who we are, so that we can realize our potentials. And when I say knowing who we are, specifically for this particular portion of videos, I'm going to be talking about knowing who we are, mostly psychologically and biologically or physiologically. And some of the things that I'll talk about in these future videos, will be things like our genetics, like where we come from, and like how we respond to everything else based on this. And another focus will be knowing ourselves, being able to talk to ourselves, talk and being able to communicate with ourselves effectively. And another will be knowing how to navigate this new world, and knowing how it affects us, and knowing how it changes us. But the focus of today's video is going to be about something really simple on the surface, but very powerful, something that can really bring in a lot of new energy into your life. And that thing is names. Yes, a name carries a huge amount of power, information. And this is something that maybe we need to be conscious of, because of the power that it can provide us or take away from us. And by being aware of this, you can take back what the energy and the empowerment that rightfully belongs to you, or you can just basically empower yourself and take things higher, and just get more out of this existence, this reality, this situation that we're in right now. So, why is a name important? A name is important because it's something that we're going to hear over and over and over again until we die, as long as we're around other people. And even from yourself, you'll say it to yourself, so you don't even have to be around other people, and you'll write it down and you'll read it to yourself. And every time you hear your name, every time you respond to it, it's sending you a type of energy. It's sending you a form of energy. And this energy can be really, really beneficial, or this energy can be draining. And sometimes it's so subtle that we don't even realize it. But if you're hearing your name over and over and over, it's actually not that subtle. It's actually, it's huge. If you look like over a span of time, over 5 years, over 10 years, a lifetime. A name can really affect who you become and the type of person you become. And you're probably thinking, okay, a name, it's really simple. You just hear your name and you respond. But names carry a huge amount of energy, because all energy transfers aren't linear. They're not, I guess, equal. Like with some energy transfers, like some people think 1 + 1 = 2. That's not how energy works all the time. Sometimes it's 1 + 1 = like some much bigger number. So energy, it's not always linear. It's not always just, straightforward. Like little signals can trigger tremendous reactions. And a tremendous reaction would be like basically a small amount of energy triggering a huge explosion of energy. And a name carries that potential. A name can actually do that. Names are actually doing that, and we don't even realize it because we're so numb to it. We've been doing it all our lives, and we're probably starting to ignore it. But by focusing on this and taking this stuff back, we can empower ourselves. We can give ourselves some new life, some new energy. We can have an influence on who we become in the near future and the distant future. And I'll give you 2 examples of how names can have a major impact on who we are, what we do, who we become. And 2 major examples I could think of is, just think about, like, one is going to be meaning of words, and the second example will be like culture, the context of culture. Okay, so the first one, the meaning of words. We all know that words carry meanings. That's why we made words, so that we can deliver messages. And some words can have really strong connotations to them. And when someone can say certain words to us, and they could trigger certain thoughts. They can trigger certain moods. And sometimes this is really small, like one little word can just boom, create a big explosion of energy, of ideas, of feelings, of emotions. And this goes back to what I was just talking about. Energy isn't linear. It's not just always 1 + 1 = 2. Sometimes it's 1 + 1 = boom, dynamite, to something bigger. And if you had a name, like if someone named you, for example, Love, that name would have a huge influence in shaping your personality, in shaping who you become, because all of a sudden everyone responds to you in a whole different way. People respond to you, they hear your name, and it triggers a feeling within them. So if you got a name like that, you're not only receiving like the message love to you, you're also sending the message back out to other people, and they're reflecting that energy right back to you because of the way your name makes them feel. And if you had a name like, let's be ridiculous and say you have a name like hate, that would do the opposite. It would have the opposite effect. People would hear that word and it would subconsciously program them to think along the frequency of such a word, which would influence their personality, which would cause them or affect them in such a way where they reflect this energy back to you, or maybe back to somebody else. It doesn't have to be just you. So are you starting to get like what I mean by how something as small as a name can have tremendous power, and how it can affect not only you, but the people around you and how they respond to you, which basically creates your reality. So a name can actually create your reality to a huge degree. And what's the other? Culture. It's going to be a little touchy, but I'll use it as an example because I think it drives my point really well. Names and culture. Like, where do a lot of our names come from? Like, we know that a lot of our histories are based on like conquests and wars and, a bunch of, people trying to establish dominance over other people. I guess it's the ugly side of humanity. No one wants to, be together and just take what they need. They want to separate and take everything, or no one wants to just come together and just live in harmony with everything. Some people just want to have a lot more than everybody else, even if they don't need it, and they'll never ever have a need to use it in their lives ever, which, I'm not judging. But historically, like if your ancestors, whether it be a couple hundred years ago or 10,000 years ago, if they were conquered and their identity was taken from them and they were given a new identity or a new name, this is the energy that they would carry throughout their lives. And it's the energy that they would pass on if they didn't decide to consciously make the decision to change it. This is the energy that they would pass on. And the next generation, they would forget what happened, so they would continue to pass on those names also, which is information. And just because they don't know what it means, it still pushes a certain frequency of information and energy. Information is energy. And even though you may not know it, this name is programming you to be less than you are. It's programming you to think that you're not a god. You are a god. You are walking in the flesh God. And if you don't know this, I'm telling you that you are, and you're asleep. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to wake you up. I'm trying to make you aware of that if you're not already aware. And by me making you aware, it can help me also. It can wake me up also, because I think I'm just a little bit awake. Like, I'm starting to realize like my potential, the potentials that I didn't realize that I had before. So I guess you could say I got my eyes open just a little bit. But if I got people around me that are wide awake and they're jumping around and they really know who they are, they understand their purpose, and I have these people around me, then I know that's going to awaken me even more. So I think the most important thing that I could do to awaken myself is to try to awaken other people, because other people have awakened me. And I realized the power of my influence. I realized the power of my words, and I'm trying to explain like other powers of words and other powers that we have that we don't even realize. I'm trying to wake us up, and I'm trying to wake myself up. So this video, it's about names. Names are really, really important. Oh yeah, I'll tell you about I guess my experience with realizing about names and making the change. Me myself, I legally changed my name, and I made sure my name, like even sounds of names carry influence. Like the when I say sounds, I mean like the pronunciation of the names. They carry influence. They carry information, and also the meaning of a name. It carries information. I mentioned that before, and it reflects the information back to you, and you reflect the information back to other people, and this creates your reality. This creates a huge portion of your reality, a layer of your reality. And after initially changing my name, and everyone finally, I guess, made they began to accept it as their reality, and I started getting a new name. I started feeling the new name's energy, and like I even made the name to reflect the frequency of energy that I want to receive. Because I realized like how important it is. And thinking back, I wish I'd have like really thought into it even more, because I'm realizing like how much potential that this has. Like this could be I know it can be a really life-changing thing. And I can tell you, I feel like a completely different person since the time I've made this change, and people have been reflecting this energy that I want to me. And it's made a huge difference. And that's my testimony about that. This video probably is getting a little bit long, so I'm going to end it here. And again, I plan to do future videos that help us find out who we are, so that we can receive as much power as possible to power our potentials, and help us realize that we are gods. Help us know our God nature. So thank you very much. If you like my video, click the button. You have a comment, drop it below. You like how I do things. You like my message. You want to hear more. You want to share this energy with me. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy your existence, your reality. Have a good weekend, if it's the weekend that you're about to approach, because that's what I'm about to approach, the weekend. So it's about to be good. It's about to be a lot of fun. So have a good one. Bye.